I've been prompted to make this post to answer the question of why I don't teach in a semicircle or a circle, or sometimes people will call the formation a flower formation, why I don't teach my yoga classes in that formation. It is a conscious choice. I choose to teach from the front in the main, with class participants then having the choice of where they want to be in the room in front of me. I do then wander around the room, so I'm not stuck at the front the whole time. I will wander around the room so that I can see people, make contact with people. If I'm teaching a sideways pose, I will often move to the side of the room so people can see me more clearly. But in the main, I am teaching that configuration with everybody in rows in front of me and me at the front. And the reason that I make that choice, very conscious choice, is that I know that many people have difficulty being in that circular formation, being in a flower formation, a circular formation. The trickiness of it may be for various reasons. Many people find it difficult to be looking inwards at each other. So there would be an assumption of eye contact or potential eye contact when you're all looking in at each other. And some people can find that very difficult and uncomfortable. Other times people just don't want to be that visible, and in that configuration, of course, everyone is equally visible. There's no way to hide, and sometimes people might want to feel as though they can hide away a little bit in a yoga class. Maybe they feel more comfortable closer to a wall. These are very common things, but they are things that our yoga participants, our meditation class participants won't necessarily tell us at the beginning of the class. They're things that we are very often unaware that people are experiencing. We might observe their behaviour and draw certain conclusions from that, but they're very unlikely to tell us. And in fact, they're very unlikely to put it on a form at the beginning of the class as well, one of those health questionnaires. It's not something that comes up. I am a teacher who advertises herself as being accessible and trauma aware, and I advertise that I do have experience working with neurodivergent clients. And so for me, I have a responsibility, if I'm going to advertise that, I have a responsibility to really take that into consideration and be very conscious and mindful of how I hold space for the group if I am giving that impression before people walk in the room, that I am going to be aware of that, and it is going to be a space where those things have been taken into consideration. So I hope this is helpful. I hope that for maybe newer yoga teachers or newly qualified teachers, or maybe teachers in training, you might find this useful to know why and what the reasons are behind making those choices. I know that I'm aware that now I've been teaching for a long time, and I often take things for granted, that I assume people understand why I'm making the choices that I do, and I am seeking to address that because I know it's really helpful to teachers who haven't been teaching for such a long time to know why those of us who have been teaching a long time, those of us who are more experienced, to be able to give that information to them so that they can benefit from that. So if you are a yoga teacher, if you're curious about some of the things that you see other yoga teachers do, if you come to my classes, you're a yoga teacher or yoga teacher trainer, you come to my classes and you're curious about things I do, please do let me know, because I would like to be able to facilitate a conversation on this, a useful conversation on this. So it'd be really interesting, be really useful for me to know what the sort of things that you're wondering are. You don't have to be a yoga teacher, of course, to be curious about why yoga teachers teach in the way that they do. So if you're watching this and you're not a yoga teacher and you're curious, again, please do let me know so that I can be of service, so that I can be useful, so I can make some posts that are useful and help us to think about the choices that we're making as teachers, help us to reflect about the experience of the participants in our classes and what might be coming up for them, and how we can more usefully and more helpfully be of service and hold space in the room.